This is the Tip Network, where we help you level up to self-improvement with a little sprinkle of sarcasm.
Yep.
So what do we have here today?
I guess we're doing another reaction with, I guess, from Corey Holcomb, from what it seems like.
Corey
He's
Holcomb.
reacting to Jada Pinkett Smith and her incessant love affair with the soul of Tupac. Rest in power, Tupac. I love you, my guy. But this woman is, she's obsessed.
You just
to say the least.
You just get a Black Power sign when you said rest in power.
I wasn't trying. I was trying to be like,
rest in power,
solidarity.
Hey, look, as always, on the way in, like and subscribe, hit the bell, push the notifications all the way up so you can get to all this content. What is this man doing over here? Jesus, see what I got to deal with. You guys think I'm the wild one, right? So Corey Holcomb, the 5150 podcast is a very, very popular show. It's an underground show with a very feverish and I gotta say vibrant 5150 mob and his fans, and it's Corey Holcomb and OG Darlene Ortiz, who was actually on the cover of on the cover of Power with Ice-T and Ryan Pace with Ice-T. She was Ice-T's, I believe, first wife. But with all of that besides, I'm a fan of the show, and I came across a absolute wonderful clip about Corey Holcomb really just logically in his own comedic way throwing water on the idea that Jada Pinkett Smith had such a great love affair with Tupac. So, I think we just need to roll a clip and react to it. What do you say?
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
This whole Tupac thing has gone too far. Come on, man. Everybody who saw how Tupac was, why is she acting like Tupac would have been with her? Tupac would have been said, look, you ain't got nothing else to offer but your funky ass. Why do you call you right? You wonder why they call you. Have you ever heard Tupac's music? Tupac would not tolerate somebody like that on his shoulder.
And you speak very.
So what do you think about that, Grover?
I mean,
what do you think about her funky butt? Would Tupac have enjoyed Jada's funky booty?
All right, well, I'm not going to talk about the woman's funky booty, all right? But no, I think what Corey Holcomb is really saying is that the only thing she really had to offer was herself, and I think he's really just dispelling the idea of the alpha widow that she has. I mean, because we always say, like, I always say Jada Pinkett, she's alpha widow, Tupac died, nobody can replace him. But actually, I think it's even more than that. I think what the real situation is that she never had Tupac, or if she had him, she just had him in a physical way, but didn't have him the way she wanted. And that's the real issue, is that Tupac's the one who got away and then died before she could get him. I mean, but she was with Will Smith, and like when they were dating, and one of the things that it was on one of these millions of things where somebody said, like she was dating Will Smith and she knew Tupac, and all of these, one of these videos, when Will was trying to talk to her, she had sent like Tupac a message saying, "Don't be mad at Will," and Pac was like, he didn't care. I think that this is a situation where she calls him a soulmate, friend, this and that and this, but honestly, it's more of a I want the person and I can't have them situation. Of course, Corey Holcomb breaks it down with comedic excellent timing and just the sarcasm that's wonderful.
Was he even? I mean, I've seen a couple of clips of him doing stand up. I think he was just speaking straight from the heart. Like, he was shooting straight from the hip too. Like, I don't think he was even trying to make jokes besides the whole funky booty portion, which I thought was pretty funny.
No, I think that's how he talks.
Yeah, I think that's how he talks too.
That's how he says, man. I think that's what he says.
Right. But, so what's the whole timeline with Jada Pinkett Smith and Tupac? Like, from what I remember about Tupac, and I listened to Tupac a lot when I was younger, and I did follow stages of his career, and I actually like to watch some of his clips, especially some of his philosophical ideas. They're very fascinating and shows you the soul of Tupac. But I've never really saw much evidence that he was enamored with Jada Pinkett Smith. In fact, he was enjoying the single man's life, running the streets and enjoying his rap stardom.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but Tupac went to jail, and he went to jail for basically what really came down to the crime was force for touching a buttocks without permission. That's what the crime was, what they got him for, and it carried a heavy penalty. And he was, Tupac was a controversial figure, so they pushed for it, right? So that was a sexual assault case that was touching the buttocks, and so when he got out, he said he was just having a good time and enjoying himself, but he was actually with somebody else. He was with somebody else actually when he was in Vegas on a fatal night. So he wasn't with Jada Pinkett Smith, and I think that's what people really need to understand. He was with Quincy Jones' daughter, and that was who he was with when he passed away. So I mean, I think that really, like, the whole narrative that she's pining for Tupac and she's in love with Tupac, it's not so much that she's in love with Tupac. It's probably that Tupac is the one who curbed her. He probably curbed her.
What is the terminology? I do have no understanding what curb.
No, they probably got together, and after he was done, he kicked her to the curb.
Oh, he curbed it. Yeah, but the fact is that his how I call it, him laying the pipe has got her so entranced for all these years. That to me is a little kind of
typical mentality of, and I hate to say this, of modern women and all these women. Oh my God, is he going? No, but typical mentality of modern women, not understanding the difference between sexual attention, sex, and commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, like, I mean, Tupac said he was friends with her and this and that, but at the same time, that I don't see a bunch of poems written for her from Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote poetry. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, let's just play some more of this clip and then
let's go.
See what happens.
Very high, very how you say? You still speak about the so-called relationship you had with the man, but there was plenty of time. If they were to be together, it would have happened. The man, you know what I'm saying? Since then, that was a long time ago when they were in college. So
did she say they never even had sex?
Yeah,
that's what she said.
So this is a really good point right here that Darlene made.
I love how she spoke so proper to her. It felt like she was like a politician. Like information on the whole happenings and the intricate details of their relationship together.
But you have to understand, Darlene is a woman who was chosen by a rap star when she was young. When she was 18, she was with Ice-T. She was chosen, and like she said, you had all this time to be with him, and you weren't with him. So she knows Tupac. Ice-T and Pac were friends. She knows Tupac.
Oh, for real? I didn't know that at all.
No. Right? She was around him at that time in the early and mid 90s. And so the biggest thing is that what she's saying is that you were around him. If it was so deep, y'all would have got married, or y'all would have been together, or at least coupled, at least coupled. Yeah. So like Darlene, and she can speak from experience because she was coupled with Ice-T, the OG gangster, during their time together. So that was the thing.
Okay. So what about who's the guy on the left here?
I believe that's Mr. Marcus.
Mr. Marcus.
Mr. Marcus.
So Mr. Marcus. What about his offhand comment about Jada and Tupac not getting intimate, like having, sex?
Well, I mean, nobody knows that for sure, right? Jada says that they weren't intimate, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and Tupac's not around to say his side of the story. Whether they were intimate or not, I mean, it's almost immaterial. I think that the real thing is that, we have built it up in our minds, and we have built it up through rumor and conjecture that she is just pining over her true love, Tupac.
When Willow Smith has written a poem or a letter to the dead soul of Tupac, it's a bit concerning, Grover.
That was Willow. Yeah. So her dog, and so, but what we really should consider is, and what we really should think of it and have the thought exercise is that, what if Pac wasn't really into her?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, man, and I know, if you're not really into a lady and she doesn't understand why, it drives her crazy. And here you go. Now who's more crazy than Jada?
I mean, hey, we're not clinicians here, okay? We can't diaggnose nothing. We don't
This
know
is
nothing
not medical advice.
This is not
But
medical
I know
advice.
crazy is. I know damn crazy when I say crazy. We got a little more of this clip to play.
Yeah. We got about like 40 more seconds of this clip.
All right, let's get it.
So let's go look at this clip real quick. Let me bring him back up here. Mute my mic.
She say he ain't never.
He said he ain't no fucker. That make it even worse.
This bitch ran with an imaginary story to her daughter. I saw that letter her daughter so-called wrote. I'm like, what a awful person. You poison your kid's mind with a man that, if Marcus is right, didn't even fuck you. You claiming Tupac, you just name drop it. Tupac probably like, stop telling motherfuckers that I was your friend like that.
He hunt the house.
Right. God damn. Oh my God, man. I can't believe the world really allows this stuff.
Excellent. So, I mean, here is a great truth about it is that, like, you know,
Go, real quick. You was name dropping. Jada Pinkett Smith was name dropping Tupac. She was ultimate clout chasing, but clout chasing got her heart.
Well, I mean, let's
caught up, man.
Let's really break this
poor
down.
Will.
Poor Will. Let's break it down what Corey Holcomb is saying there. This is not about Will at all. I don't even care about Will up at this point.
It hasn't been about Will for a while now.
Yeah, I care about Jada Pinkett. Let's just think about the psychology that she must be going through and how toxic and what a horrible person, as Corey Holcomb says so eloquently, my brother, like what kind of a horrible person that she's built up this person in her mind. And if she claims that they never had sex, and so she's built up this person in her mind and they ain't even been intimate together to the point where her daughter, who was born 5 years after Tupac died. And so, you know, this letter had to happen a decade or more after Tupac died, right? And so the letter happens a decade or more after Tupac died. And her daughter is writing a letter saying, can you please come back and make my mom happy? Man, it's almost like that letter, when I read it, it was like Willow felt like Tupac was her dad.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. Look, I'm not there and I'm not trying to disparage anybody, and you know, but it felt like I know you're alive somehow. I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back and you can back so mommy and me can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Love, Willow. Think about that. Think about that. That's a letter that I would expect a little girl to write to her father who was deceased, not when her father is the biggest movie star in the world at the time. And so this is the problem. And you know what? Really, this is the problem about investing your genetic material in a toxic, horrible individual, because this is the type of stuff that happens. This letter right here is what happens. And no matter what kind of a nice person Will Smith is trying to be, he's doing himself a disservice by not putting his foot down and saying, this will not happen in my house. Yeah. And that's what he should do. And so I think Corey Holcomb did an excellent job defacing and really bringing to light the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is this. What if Pac really didn't want Jada Pinkett Smith like she wanted him? And what if that's the real problem? The real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm speechless. There's not really much for me to say. It seems like it really, I mean, you know, for a while here, like maybe because I haven't been really paying enough attention, but after you showed me this clip with Corey Holcomb, it's like you really do think about, wait a second, Tupac wasn't even really around her that much. I mean, he was running streets, he was doing his thing, he was writing music a lot. Like the guy was famous for being stuck in his room the whole time, making music at all times. There's even some interludes in some of his soundtracks where they had artists and producers spoke on their experiences with Tupac, and they said that Tupac was literally inside of a studio apartment or something like that. All he did was write music, and even one producer or artist said to him, "Hey, Pac, you didn't even flush the toilet." It was like, wait, you forgot to flush the toilet, man. Your place is a mess. Yep. So like, I don't think that Tupac really had. It really makes me now think like he didn't really have much time for anyone else, and especially someone that has that such masculine energy like Jada Pinkett, because it seems like to me Jada Pinkett has a very demanding personality. Well, I'm not sure that Tupac would deal with that.
How is like one of the biggest things I always tell folks, and especially like women, if they're talking to me and say, well, what's the deal and what do you think? And I said, if you're asking my opinion, don't think about what money you can bring to the table, because a man doesn't really care about your money if he has money. Now, look, if both of you guys are making $40,000 a year, and 40 plus 40 is 80, and you make it like that, that's cool. That's different. But most of the ladies, when they're talking to me, they're not looking for that $40,000, $50,000 a year guy. So if you're looking for $100,000 a year and up guy, he doesn't care about your money. Your money's immaterial to him because he can't spend it anyway. But what really he's looking for is someone who can add value and help in his life. And when you tell that, women say, oh, well, he's just a helpmate this now. But just think about if Tupac, working the way he was working in the last days of his life, going from studio to studio, room to room, he would need somebody to actually tell him, hey, calm down. Why don't you eat something? Hey, why don't you get some rest tonight? Hey, here's your coffee, this and that. Hey, that's enough. That's enough of this. He would need somebody to help him in that way, but not nag him about working, but help him in that way. And that's one of the things that people don't understand what adding value is. And now everything I said, would you imagine Jada Pinkett Smith doing that?
No.
Exactly. And
from what I've seen, she wants to be in the limelight. She wants to be in the spotlight. She's constantly she's attempting always to do her own projects and put herself on the map. Exactly. And I can tell it bothers her that she's not a superstar like Will Smith is. Mm-hmm. And she wants to create an identity for herself and a legacy for herself without being known as Will Smith's wife. I mean, think about this, man. Like, really think about this. We don't call her Jada Smith. Yeah. We don't even call her Jada Pinkett Smith. No, we call her Jada Pinkett. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. That is odd. Very odd.
What? You know what? We need to end it right there, dude. That's definitive. That's the definitive statement of this show right now. Definitive statement of this show. I mean,
well, hold on here. Before we end it, we got to start plugging ourselves a little bit.
Just a little.
We do have a Patreon, a $5 Patreon that you can join. Be a tip, polite, savage supporter of the Tip Network by donating $5 a month, if that's your sort of thing. Be a patron of the Tip Network. Or if you don't want to leave the Tip Network or leave YouTube, you can sign up for our Just the Tip membership on YouTube. And that's only $1.99 a month.
Just $1.99 a month. It costs
$1.99 a month.
Coffee at Starbucks.
Exactly.
Support your local content creators. We want to be able to bring you content on a consistent basis. We've been working hard for years, and we're going to continue to deliver value to you and add value in our own special, extremely sarcastic way. Yes. So
if you want to join the Patreon, hit the links. The links are down below. You'll see it here on the bottom of the screen. And if you want to join the membership, hit the join icon that you'll see here right below our video, as well as you'll see it on our main channel page. Whether you're on your mobile or the desktop, you can join for just a tip for $1.99 a month. Now we're going to be developing more tiers for the YouTube memberships as well as the Patreon memberships. So stay tuned for those developments, because we're going to have all kinds of content, especially touching into our wheelhouse with the creator economy, traveling, especially with Grover, and some other projects that we have in mind.
Yes,
right,
indeed. And let us not forget the affiliate link for StreamYard. Yes.
And the last thing is, how are we doing our production here? Our production here is on StreamYard. So this is where we do our long distance interviews. Long distance shows with each other while we're in different places, as well as bring on guests to interview. And we use StreamYard. So you'll get $10 in credit when you use our link that is in the description down below.
That's right. That's right. And StreamYard is, if you're wondering what the majority of the shows use to bring up guests, to connect around the world. You could sit in San Francisco and have a guest in Miami and bring them up. That's StreamYard. It's very simple to operate, especially to get the guests on. You're just dropping them a link. You can pull guests out of your chat, and it really helps you build the community that you're looking to build from your YouTube, just like we're looking to build our Polite Savages.
Yes.
All
right. So now make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell for
hit the bell.
hit the bell for notifications for all of our latest videos. Can't even say that right. After about 3.5 years, you think I would have got that right?
And you can find me on the gram at I am Gorilla1. You can find this guy at ScottT. And of course, you can follow the TIP Network on all social media platforms, just at THPP Network, all solidified.
Yep. Even on Patreon, you can type in TIP Network as one word or 2 words. It'll show up. So if you want to be a patron, remember, Patreon is where it's at with new exclusive content that will be coming out. Or you can stay here on YouTube with the $1.99 YouTube membership. And that is about it. Oh, actually, Grover. What is the question of the day?
What's the question of the day is, do you think that Pac was into Jada?
That is a very, very good question. Very good question indeed. So now?
Well, I only have to say, one thing. I just got to ask one burning question.
What's that burning question?
Can you handle the tip?
All right, because if we're going all in.
All right, booty in your face. We out.
All right, booty and cheddar.
Ooh.
That's you.